Good morning, and welcome to our morning meditation entitled The Art of Noticing by Rob Walker. Today's meditation is titled Interview an Elder. Gerontologist Carl Palmer was already a recognized expert on aging and the policies and programs that aim to improve the universal process when he faced a mid-career dilemma. He wanted to close the gap between his abstract policy knowledge and the people it meant to serve. Then he had an epiphany. Why not, he wrote, begin with an activity as old as human race, asking the advice of the oldest people you know? Because older people have one thing that the rest of us do not have. They have lived their lives. They have been where we haven't. Indeed, people who have experienced most of a long life are in an ideal position to assess what works and what doesn't for finding direction. They bring to our contemporary problems and choices perspectives from a different time. Palmer suggested talking to someone some variations of your future self is talking to an elderly person, a maven of sorts, who has lived a life and led a career that you admire to aspire to, who embodies the self you would like to be. The person, he adds rather bluntly, should be old, and preferably really old. They should want a 40, uh, you don't want a 40-year-old if you're in your 20s. You want someone in his or her 80s or 90s, or a centurion if you can find one. Who is the oldest person you know? Who is the oldest person in your neighborhood? What would you ask them about? What do you think they might share with you? There may be some trial and error before you find someone, and maybe your first pass could be inspired by something you'd specifically like to know or learn about. But try to keep it open-ended enough so that you are both engaged. Seeking advice about anything at all may not be a bad place to start. When you're faced with a dilemma you're not sure about how to solve, you could ask about a job. You're the interviewer. You had something you had earlier in the day, a situation that you're currently facing in your life, or what they liked or didn't like about school, or the first time they left home, or the biggest risk they ever took, or even what technology made a difference or an impression in the past. From the interviewee's perspective, you can ask anything that they're willing to answer. Ask them, what do they remember? What do they wish someone would ask them? That's our meditation for today. Interviewing an elder. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause God's face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord look upon you with favor and grant you peace. Shalom, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Pastor.